I came home late, you were not there. I didn't care.
1 2 1 2 1 2 check
both
1
know it's
1 2.
over. We need to let it go.
Oh man, I forgot how dope that song was. Golly. High Tech Let It Go featuring Talib Kweli off the High Technology Volume 2 album. Man, forgot all about how dope the song was. Nevertheless, Clear Visions Podcast, we are here. We are chill. We are chill. We are chill. Let me put on my nerd glasses. All right, it looks a little better. All right, listen, y'all. I'm a week behind, so I'm catching up. My consistency level was off, but it's all good. We are going to keep it moving, get it going. All right. So the topics that we will be talking about today on Clear Visions is community, transactional friendships, and a letter to Isaac Hayes III. All right. Stick around. Clear Visions coming up right now. All right, Mr. LP, what's up? MPN Network, what's up? Groove Suite, what's up? Fly Sauce and Teas, what's up? The Neighbor's Way, all the brands, but all up on the MPN Network. Hopefully everybody is well. All the great stuff. Hopefully you're doing your things and keeping your spirits up. I'm over here trying to keep my spirits up as well. It's just some times going on right now. I'm not sure. I was talking to one of my homegirls, Sequoia, what's happening. I was talking to her and she was saying how the energy has been off and she's just been quiet for whatever reason. So I was like, yeah, I'm quiet as well. So just trying to be motivated, innovative, thoughtful, all those things. So yeah, that's where we at with it. But hopefully your spirits are good. Hopefully everything that you're working on is fine. Hopefully your family and friends is fine. All of the things, man. So we got to keep this energy going. 2025 is flying by us. It is about to be March. So I don't know. Hopefully you got a grip on your things that's going on, the bearings and such. And yeah. So nevertheless, make sure you hit subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe so you can get the updates when it pops up. Or if you're listening to it on Apple, Spotify, make sure you subscribe on there as well. You can also listen to the podcast on MrLP.com under the Clear Visions podcast section. That's where I put my podcast at first, and then it disperses as well. So I would love for you to go to MrLP.com, do some, searching and seeing what's happening, see what I got going on, as well as MPN-LLC.com to check everything out from there. All right. Without further ado, let's get into it. So to get back on this groove of things, but we're just going to be like candidly talking. I took notes down, maybe in the footnotes if I need to reference something. I definitely reference it, but we're just going to be kind of spitballing action, especially with this letter to Isaac Hayes, which I feel like we should just start there first. All right. I guess I'll cut my music on real quick. All right. This is just another pebble in the ground or in the water of opinions that are flying around about said topic or whatever. So I'm not really expecting for my opinion to be held at this high rate, but I'm just going to share my thoughts on it. Okay. I was doing research. I saw it online. Where did I see it? I saw a video. Somebody posted a video on Threads referencing Francesca Ramsey. My apologies on jumbling over that, because all her videos that she's been saying, she's been like, you've been spelling my name wrong. So I understand the importance of people's names. So Francesca Ramsey, respects to you, ma'am. So videos was coming out saying that Isaac Hayes III was in her DM about being a voice of fan base, which Isaac Hayes III is the founder, owner, whatnot, of fan base. It's another social media app that offers a investment of $3.99. But at the same time, too, it is catered, and this is just from outside looking at it, it's catered for Black folks to own their content. And I might be saying that wrong. It might be for everybody, but I know Isaac Hayes III promotes the fact that, we can own our content, have our own social media platform, something, for us, by us type of mantra. Um, so apparently something was said. Francesca Ramsey said something back. I feel like I'm still trying to analyze it, but I got a little bit of it last night. But with all that being said, they're going back and forth online about the disrespect and all that other stuff. So apparently, Isaac Hayes III pulled up a picture of her ex-husband, which is white, and kind of made the point to say, "You're not really black because you had a white husband." Other things were stated. I did join the room in fan base yesterday when he did a live audio room and was speaking on the situation. Within that room, he used an example of Drake being I, whatever. Nevertheless, let me just get to the core of it. Isaac Hayes III. I and other people would like to support you because it is a black platform made by black person, black owned business, all other things. Would love to. But I remember before any of this was stated, I remember stating that the app was kind of glitchy or whatever, and it just seemed pretty weird that he was on the other platforms kind of talking a mess about the other platforms. So I'm like, he would be on LinkedIn, Twitter/X, Instagram, all these things, right? And he would be talking about these platforms that he's on versus being on his creation. Now, I'm not on fan base like that at all. I got a profile, but it's the discoverability and the glitchiness of the durability of the app makes it difficult for me to even be on there. So I'm not on there like that. So I don't know how often he's really on there. But I don't think it was cool that he was on these apps talking about other people's apps when he should have been more focused on that. So that was a red flag for me. Being the fact that he is the owner as well with all this capital and support, because there's a group of people that support him like crazy, and respectfully so, right? Him being the face of it all and giving these, I wouldn't say outlandish speeches, but he was giving the outlandish speeches. I just think he should have had somebody else doing those type of presentations, making these announcements, all the things, right? But he wasn't doing that, and so he gets into a situation where he's going back and forth with a young lady that he asked to be part of the team, whatever the case may be, whatever happened with that, and then for him to get extremely petty and bring all this stuff up about her, it just wasn't a good look. So I'll just wrap this up or whatnot. But a couple things. One, you never mess with a black woman. You're never going to win when it comes to a black woman. I might get backlash for this, but that's just how I feel. Whatever. You definitely should not be going back and forth online with a black woman. That is not going to happen. The black women culture, the 92% or whatever the case may be, they're going to be out for you. They are they should be respected at all costs, no doubt. Everybody should be respected. Men, women, black, white, all that stuff. Just human nature, people should be respected. But when it comes to black women, you don't stand a chance at all. Isaac, I really wish you would have paid that some attention and just left her alone. Because yeah, you have to read the room on that. When it comes to black women, you got to leave them alone. Just leave them alone. Any type of acknowledgement when it comes to women, specifically black women, you're going to be looked down on. And you could be the best person in the world and respect black women and all this other stuff, but you say one little thing about them online, you can't do that. So Isaac, I need you to think about that next go around. Second off, Isaac, I need you to get a team. I need you to get like a PR team, marketing team. I need you to have somebody on the team that would do the speaking for you. this is a great opportunity to put a black woman on a list. Somebody stated online. I'm not, don't credit me for this, but I think it stated online that he doesn't have any black women on staff. Now, that's a whole nother story, but whatever. But if it's gonna be black, I mean, you gotta incorporate the women as well in some form of fashion. Like some black woman out there can do the job, and it could be celebrated as the fact that she's a black woman, as well as her being able to do the job. Now, don't put nobody in the job, in the position job, and they don't do the job. But I'm sure there's a lot of women out there. I know a lot of I follow a lot of marketing women that do a great job on making sure that the brand is represented well, making sure all the information that goes out about the brand is solid, and make sure that it's cohesive with probably all. Unless the target is black people, you know what I'm saying? So I like I said, I don't know too deep about it, but there are black women out there. So with that being said, you need to get a team, and you definitely need to throw probably about 2 or 3 women on there. Like probably get a social media manager, probably need to get a PR, and you need to get a director. Just make the whole communication marketing aspect of it black women, because even just learning from me learning in this space. The communication marketing space it just seems like it's kind of ran by women, so they know what the deal is, and unfortunately, I'm not going to argue with them because they ain't do nothing to me, but that might be the plug-in. And then the last thing that I'll say, Isaac, is I guess I'll say do right by your people. So I think when I say that, I mean I can broaden it multiple ways, but just do right by your people, man. I mean, we need to be an example of greatness, and showing, going back and forth with somebody, you know what I'm saying? With going back and forth with an individual, let alone a black woman, that is, has some notoriety, all this stuff, right? It's just not a good look. It's just not a good look. So the morals that exist, the vision, that all affects like the vision, the goals, and I'm talking like this guy don't know this. I mean, I don't want to I'm not disrespecting him at all or belittling him at all. I'm just saying, do right by your people, and just read the room, man. Just read the room, and and see what the deal is. And last thing I throw in too is, man, like just put your all into Facebook fan base. Don't worry about no other apps. Don't make no more videos about you over here in TikTok, and that like kind of making people feel like that like they should know what's going on, and they probably don't. Like this is the time to educate them, but educate them from a fan base standpoint, like not necessarily knowing about TikTok or whatever. Now, if you want to use that as reference, find a better way to do that. Go to the communication team and have them develop a message that will be clear for everybody, so it won't seem like you're just on these apps talking down about it. All right. So that's just my dear letter to Isaac Hayes III. All respects to you, sir. I feel like you have a great thing going. But I've always been like, yo, he needed a marketing team. He needed a team, but he needed a team that's going to focus on the message. And then maybe he needed to get deeper into like the tech aspect of it. I don't know, but I don't like to see these type of things happen. So, all right, next topic at hand is community. Real big on community. Real big on community. I think about this often. Probably more than often, but we're going to talk a little bit about it. We're going to just hit a little cliff note on it. Real quick before I get into it, I will be at the Dripping in Black Retreat. Speaking about community, I'm doing a presentation on it. Hopefully, I'll be able to add it to YouTube. I got to get permission and whatnot, but that is March 7th through the 9th in Detroit, Michigan. Make sure you go to drippinginblack.com for more information. It's still time to get online tickets as well as tickets to be in the building. So I'm going to be doing the communication part. So I will make sure to share. I'll be sure to share that with y'all about the communication. Community. Tongue twister for some reason, but nevertheless, let's get into it. I saw an interview with Ashley Allison. She has Water and Hole Media. I saw her on Breakfast Club, and her interview was actually good. I really enjoyed it. About to follow her. Wasn't familiar with her. She's a CNN commentator as well, but she was talking about being in community. Like, what's the solutions? DJ Envy asked her about what needs to be done for the solutions in regards to politics and just the state of the culture, all of that. So I just want to play a little clip of her interview, which she mentions about community.
We always talk about the problems, right? What are the solutions? What can people do to try to stop this or to try to curve it? Like, what can people do? Because a lot of people listening and be like, we know the problems.
Yeah.
We know we got to deal with the next 4 years. We see it happen in the last 8-9 days. But what can we do to stop it? What's the solution?
Yeah, I think being in community is the most important thing, right? Like sitting by yourself and spiraling and doom scrolling. One of the things the coolest thing that is happening right now, y'all following Hillman Talk on TikTok? Okay. So this is why I love Black women. Like, we the 92% supposed to be sitting down chilling, and we done created a whole HBCU online on TikTok in the last 7 days.
Yeah.
So a Black professor, she put a video out about African American Studies class for her 36 students. Mm-hmm. It is now a place where 20 plus PhDs, all Black folks teaching African American studies, teaching the art of resistance, teaching economic power. That's self-organizing, right? I think right now, one of the things our people have been through many, many things. And one of the best things you can do right now is to educate yourself on how to sustain oppression. So find yourself in community and educate yourself. I'm not going to take a stance on the boycotts right now, but I do think our economic collective buying power is very important. There's a lot of conversation about boycotting companies who are getting rid of DEI. Mm-hmm. I think boycotts are hard, but boycotts can be used strategically. And if we as a community really put some strategy behind it, it could be effective while we're still helping Black businesses and entrepreneurs thrive. And then I think we got to have some tough conversations, y'all.
Yeah, and the hardest part about it is like getting people motivated to do it and activating people to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like I'm 32, and a lot of people in my generation, they don't care. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They care, but they don't care enough to, like, if it don't affect them directly, like right now, they not doing nothing.
All right, so that was Ashley Allison with her point about community. And even Jessalera has made a great point about, like, how do you activate these, how do you get people involved? Because a lot of people just walk around, they don't care. My word for that would be like desensitizing. I think we're just so desensitized to everything. Social media has, in my opinion, has played a role in that. But I mean, not a major role, but it's one of the important roles that is played for this desensitizing. Just everything that's going on. You just like, all right, well, this person's going to pass away. Like, we all going to pass away, so be it. Let me just YOLO this thing out or whatever. And in the midst of that, a lot of these situations are happening to where we can be talking to people who are true experts. It's a lot of people I know that are like really big on community and want to make sure that community is straight. I don't care if it's a music community. I don't care if it's a hospitality community, a book community, whatever the case may be. Somebody in these communities, one of these people have the policy, procedure, methods, has the bright idea to bring up this community a little bit further than what it is. And it's like, now it's all about me, and let me YOLO, to where a lot of people just forget about the fact that community definitely plays a role. And even if you haven't been in a form of community in some form of fashion out of your whole life, it's communities out there that are like wide open to where you should be like, you know what? I want to get around the same type of people that love the same type of shopping habits, or go to the clubs or whatever, or patronize Black people, whatnot. But a lot of people just don't utilize the whole community aspect of it. And this world has definitely became this situation where everybody want to do what they want to do, or they do. It's all about me. I'm gonna do me. But it's like we just work so much better when community is involved, or when community is in place. And I just want people to think about the fact that, you know, community definitely works. And the situation that we're in right now, just from a worldly standpoint, we definitely need to be in some very structured communities. Now, the other side of that is making sure that you in the communities and they're being effective to the people. Do right by your people, right? So I want to reference Adriana Sequel. Shouts out to my sister. She made a blog post. It was titled "We're Too Damn Convenient for Community." The beautiful read. It's a beautiful, beautiful read on Substack. Go look in the notes. I'll make sure I reference that. But please go read that blog post. She comes from a pure heart when she talks about the community aspect of it. I'm going to read a little bit of it. It says, establishing community isn't just about ways to help alleviate your loneliness. It's not just about connecting with others on a shared belief or goal. It requires intentional work from all its members to ensure that the community thrives. Our ancestors understood that creating community requires inconvenience. Oh, this is where it gets good. All right. Okay, Adriana, what do you mean by inconvenience? Let's be real. Even though we're not supposed to, we keep a mental note of the ways that people show up for us. The more a person shows us support, the more likely we are to reciprocate the same. Community works best when folks are able to respond to a stated need. This society rarely meets folks' needs in a way it should, and that's why we have to stand in the gaps for others. Woo! Listen. As big of a community person that I am, and you know, people call me community leader, people call me a community guy. Sorry about that. But like, I am currently right now stuck in the thoughts of these people are not supporting me, so I can't support them, and I hate that. I hate that mentality. I just dislike that mentality that I have. And I'm working my best to get out of that mode, because at the end of the day, when I do for people, it's from pure intentions. It is from a great heart. And I shouldn't have to sit here and count the many times somebody loves me, or what they did, what they didn't do, to stand the third. I'll give you a prime example. I released the album December 31st, 2024, right? I have people that are close to me that has not acknowledged my album at all. And I know they saw my album on social media. And even with the social media part, it's plenty of people who I feel like are close to me that don't like my post, not even acknowledge it or whatever, but I've been like an eye for an eye. So I don't go like that stuff. Is that the best way to be? Absolutely not, because this is going to translate into my community morals. And people look at me as this community leader, and I can't be walking around here doing that eye for an eye crap. I have to be the example. And maybe it might be the algorithm that why they didn't see it. Maybe it might be that they're too busy on their content why they didn't see it. Should I be worried about the fact that, you know, my close people haven't acknowledged my stuff? No, I shouldn't. Does it bother me? Personally, it does. It never bothered me before until within the past like 6 or 7 months, where I'm like, these people are just not acknowledging what I got going on. And the thing is, the content that I have is for community. Like, it's coming from me, but I'm giving it to the community so people can understand it, or, you know, give them hope and give them courage and all this other stuff. And so for the people that are close to me to not even acknowledge it, it's definitely hurtful. But again, it's not the proper behavior for that. So I'm glad that Adriana Sequel wrote this. It was something that was into me, that was poured into me, that I had to be like, you know what, let me realize that this is not the way to do it. So I am working diligently to not have those thoughts, because for me, I can't give this energy to my community. I cannot. And my grandma is probably looking down on me now. May her soul rest. And you know what? She probably not even looking down on me like that. It's just something that I learned from her. My grandma was always very great at being in form of community with people. I saw it all the time when we went to church. I saw it all the time with family. And I feel like my community efforts are from her because I saw her do it, and I never heard her complain about it. She might have complained about it to my granddad or my mom or whoever, but I've never heard her do it. And she always did it with the full intent of love and spirit and respect. And the people that she served respected it as well. So that's where my origin of community comes from. So resonating with Adriana's message as well as with Ashley Allison's message, the community part is very, very, very important to one's journey. So again, I'm going to be writing more about this. I'm going to do that presentation. I'm going to make sure that I can post it and probably just get more into this community conversation or whatever, because we can't be around here just doing stuff ourselves and just the self-loathing and all that stuff. We gotta get around some people that truly want to make sure that everybody in the sectors are protected and seen and heard, because this is what we need, especially with this political game that's going on right now. Definitely got to find like a really good community that's going to be supportive and give us the information that we can receive, all of the things. But more on that community talk later. All right, the last thing I want to talk about is transactional friendships. Oh man, this is a topic that is very broad on my, not broad. It's broad. I can get broad with it, but if we're talking about like the core of things, yeah. I mean, to get to the core of things, transactional friendships, man, I don't care for them. I do understand relationships being transactional. I get that. But the transactional friendship stuff like grinds my gears like crazy. Like I have a lot of people that call me and they're my close friends that just want stuff. I think people are now getting to the point where they don't call me, but I feel like they don't call me because they know how I feel about the transactional action. I don't know. I just feel like if it's a friendship, man, it should be, as many times as you call somebody to want something, it should be a little bit more of the fact when you call them just to see how they're doing. Simple as that. Just find out how they're doing. Check on them. Make sure they're straight. You shouldn't call people all the time when you want something. And it made me think about this. Joe Budden post. He made a post or whatnot, and it was from his podcast or whatnot. Yeah.
I don't think a whole lot of people have those friendships that I'm talking about with Parks right now.
Yeah.
I think people masquerade as if they do. I think people call a lot more people friend than are friends.
Absolutely. I agree.
On both genders.
It's a lot of transactional friendships. Everybody's transactional. I'm only your friend if there's a benefit in there somewhere. Mm-hmm. If I'm not getting something out of it, I have no reason.
I don't like that way.
Me neither.
Me either.
Yeah.
It's scary when you find that shit out too.
It's like, what can you do for me?
Right.
I don't like that way. Well, I tell you, in this business, you find out fast who really fuck with you when you're not up no more.
So yeah, that was the clip from Joe Budden. But yes, transactional friendships. And I don't know if people are conscious of this or not. I don't know. But I'm like, you can't just keep calling people and being like, hey, I need something, and you don't offer nothing back. And it should be a situation where the transactional friendship goes both ways. That's crazy. If it's a friendship, you should at least be like, hey, for one time that you call wanting something, it should be like at least 3 or 4 times when you call them just to make sure somebody's straight. How you doing? How your day is? How's that project that you're doing? Is there any way I can help you with that? Do you need some type of assistance with it? Like those type of things, pours into like the friendship part. But the transactional stuff, like when you want to call somebody and vent about something that you got going on, and you know that person's going to listen to you, but you don't even pour back to them when they need it. It's been plenty of times where I've been in situations where people just talk, and I listen, no judgment or nothing. But as soon as I be like, they ask me how I am, they're like, and I'm like, I'm tired. Well, stop working too hard. They, go to sleep, and then they want to take like that. that's a form of transaction to me as well. Like you should be be there for people, and I ain't gonna say accept them for what they are, but yes, accept them for who they are, what they are. But I mean, all the whole transactional part of it is just it gets overbearing, man. And I think people just are not aware that they're doing it. Like they're just like, okay, well, I can call this person because I know this person's gonna listen to me, and it's like, no, like find out what they're doing. Simply just just call and just say, hey, how you doing? How you feeling? You want to go watch a movie or or something like let's go out to eat and just like think about nothing. But to call me every time wanting something, or calling me every time to talk about your stuff without finding out truly how I'm feeling, or if I'm in a burden or something, and like just having a listening ear for that part, I think that's very, very, very important when it comes to friendships. Like very, 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 very important. So we got to cut that out. We got to cut that transactional friendship stuff out. Transactional relationships, I understand it. When it comes to business, you're going to be dealing with people from a transactional part. When they call you, they need something. Hey, Al, I need you to DJ, and I'm like, all right, hey, I need a deposit so I can lock that date down so I can come and play. You do your event. So I wouldn't necessarily say that transactional relationships is like this bad thing, but transactional friendships, oh my God, like people, we got to be a lot better, man. From a humane standpoint, humane standpoint, we gotta care. I don't care how little or big it is. We have to care. We got to stop calling people when we want stuff, man, and then have them expect for them to be there every time. Because that person that's on the other end of transactional friendships, they gonna get tired of it, and they gonna start dismissing. I know for me, I've dismissed a few relationships, just because I'm just like, look, man, I'm just tired of being called when something is needed, and I'm just so I just decrease all that, and that's not a good feeling when you have people that don't want to deal with it anymore. Because you think you're in a regular friendship, and that other person you had the transactions with and cut you off, and you wonder why they ain't pick up the phone, and they got a whole other bunch of friends and all that stuff. So yeah, so that's my deal with the transactional friendships. All right, this is the new section, the new segment, Vision Check. All right, Vision Check is going to be just a quick, short, reflective thing about my journey, a topic or whatnot, something that I got going on that I feel like is going to be good to share with my community. Hey, community, what's happening? So yeah, Vision Check. This is going to be happening on every episode. I might just jump on and just do, a Vision Check, right, real quick, just to keep the momentum going or whatnot. But that is the Vision Check. All right. So today I did a recording yesterday. I'm recording Friendships That Flourish podcast. Shouts out to Regina Roberts. She is the host of it. Go and check season 1 out. It is some good stuff. I record episodes as well. You can find on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. And it's Friendships That Flourish. It's all one word. Type it in and it's very great podcast about friendships, how people navigate friendships, the variations of friendships, all the things from being vulnerable to having long distance relationships, and friendships, how people deal with grievance, how do you build a community with the people that you have? You have these type of friends and these type of friends, like whether they fall, all of those things. But nevertheless, quick plug on that, the Friendships That Flourish podcast. So on my IG, which you can follow me on, Mr. Alpete, MRALPETE, I did a live on the spot when I was kind of giving my behind the scenes process on the recording aspect of recording a podcast. So make sure you go through there, check it out. But I want to get more. I want to do more behind the scenes or whatever of me recording, and I kind of explained like the difference being in a small room versus the big room from an audio standpoint. I showed the gear that I was doing. Regina pops up on the video as well. But nevertheless, I did a behind the scenes on that. So I want to show more of that because I want people to understand more about the podcasting aspect of it, the audio part. I am very big on the audio part. Very, very, very big on audio. The audio has to be crisp. So I take pride in that. So I just wanted to show the gear that I use and my methods, my thought process on how I go about doing my recording. So that's the vision check. So check it out. So you're going to see more audio clips from me, like how I do things, how I pivot, how I make, how I advance the situation I'm in, like make the situation bigger, make it more relative, all those things. So that's coming. So make sure you go to Instagram and check that video out. It's a live video, all that great stuff. All right, we are done. Thank you so much for hitting play. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Clear Visions Podcast. I'm about to say Vision Check, and it's Vision Check. I'm trying to say Visions Check, but it's Vision Check. But nevertheless, thank you for watching Clear Visions Podcast. You can listen to the audio. If you listen to the audio now on the video, you can listen to it on Apple and Spotify. But you can go to MrLP.com/Clear Visions Podcast to check it out. All right. Be good to yourselves. Oh, before I get my quote, I'm sorry. Please make sure you go follow the MPN Network, MPN Management on Instagram, Threads, the YouTube channel. Make sure you go follow that as well. Make sure you go to mpn-llc.com and see what they got going on there. Subscribe to all the things that you can, please. We greatly appreciate it. Share it with your folks that you think will like, general conversations, coming from me, the artist, Mr. Al Pete, and the admin side as well. But make sure you follow MrAlPete.com. Make sure you follow Mr. Al Pete on all the things, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you find me. But go to MrAlPete.com. It'll take you everywhere. Go to MPN-LLC.com, and it'll take you everywhere. All right? Until next time, be good to yourselves and be good to others. I'm out of here, y'all. To the top.